In a nail-biting contest that pushed their strategy to the absolute limit, the Boston Red Sox bullpen was the undeniable hero, securing a narrow 4-3 victory against the Baltimore Orioles. But here's where it gets controversial. This win came not from a traditional starting pitcher, but from a high-risk, unconventional pitching strategy that is dividing opinions among baseball purists. Manager Alex Cora didn't hide the pressure he felt. Honestly, it's a challenging game to manage, he admitted with a mix of a laugh and a sigh of relief. You glance up at the scoreboard, and suddenly it's the 6th inning, and they've put 3 runs on the board. The victory was a significant improvement over recent performances from Walker Buehler, whose struggles led to his reassignment to the bullpen and created a vacancy in the starting rotation. Instead of simply plugging in another conventional starter, the Sox made a bold tactical move. They deployed Brennan Bernardino as an opener, a pitcher who primarily starts a game for only an inning or two. This decision was strategic. Bernardino had experience in the role and was the perfect choice to face the Orioles' powerful left-handed hitters, Jackson Holliday and Gunnar Henderson. The move paid off brilliantly as Bernardino struck them both out in a scoreless first inning. He was then followed by Richard Fitts, who was designated as the long reliever, to handle the bulk of the game. And this is the part most people miss. Fitts' outing was a roller coaster of emotions, especially for a player in his first game back in the major leagues and his first time in this flexible relief role. Over 4+ innings, he gave up 3 runs on 2 hits and 3 walks, though he also managed 6 strikeouts. The game took a frightening turn in the 6th inning when, after throwing a single 94.2 miles per hour fastball, his slowest of the game, Fitts immediately felt a sharp tightness in his right biceps and had to leave the mound. The moment looked serious. His eyes glistened with emotion as he looked down at his arm, and he later described the sensation as way worse than the minor discomfort he felt during warm-ups. Manager Cora and head athletic trainer Brandon Henry rushed to check on him, and a heartbroken Fitts walked straight to the clubhouse. However, a wave of optimism followed. After undergoing strength and range of motion tests that showed no immediate red flags, Fitts reported that the pain was not as severe as he had initially feared. The team decided to hold off on an MRI for the time being and will reevaluate how he feels on Tuesday. For a player like Fitts, who has been moving between the majors and minors for a year and is desperately trying to secure a permanent bullpen role, the injury scare was particularly tough. I'm trying to earn the respect of my teammates here, Fitts said. To go through this and not know what's going to happen, especially this late in the season, it's not fun. He left the ballpark hopeful, noting the pain was nowhere near as bad as a previous pectoral strain he had suffered. The drama wasn't over. The Orioles, now 60-71, threatened to tie the game in the 8th inning when Gunnar Henderson hit a leadoff double against reliever Garrett Whitlock. This is the kind of high-pressure situation that defines seasons. Whitlock, who had recently been in similar jams during extra innings, was determined to change the outcome. It stinks that I put him in that position, Whitlock said, but at least this time I didn't let him score. He responded with immense composure, striking out the next 3 batters in a row to escape the inning unscathed. Finally, the Sox turned to their closer, Matt Chapman, who has been virtually untouchable. Chapman, who hasn't allowed a hit since July 23rd, needed only 7 pitches to retire the side in the 9th inning, sealing the win and lowering his phenomenal ERA to a microscopic 1.06. Obviously, Chappie is doing Chappie things, Whitlock said with admiration. It's a lot of fun to watch. It's special. He's a fantastic teammate. The offensive side of the game also had its stars and historic moments. Facing right-handed pitcher Tomoyuki Sugano for the 2nd time in a week, the Red Sox offense performed far better than in their previous meeting at Fenway Park. They scored all 4 of their runs on just 2 powerful swings. The first was a 410-foot leadoff home run to right center field by Cedene Rafaela. This blast made him, at 21 years and 104 days old, the youngest player in Red Sox history to hit a leadoff homer, breaking a record held by the legendary Bobby Doerr since 1939. Rafaela downplayed the milestone, saying, "I don't ever really think about my age. The guys will let me know. We all feel like we're the same age. A bunch of guys having fun." The second decisive swing came from Jarren Duran, who hit a fly ball to center field that just barely cleared the outstretched glove of a leaping Colton Cowser. This hit turned a 2-run deficit into a permanent 1-run lead. Looking ahead, Cora confirmed that the team's decision-makers will have conversations about how to handle this rotation spot in the future. Relying so heavily on the bullpen is not a sustainable long-term strategy. Obviously, there's a lot of games to play, Cora cautioned. We have to be careful. Taking care of the bullpen is huge for us. So, what do you think? Was the opener strategy a stroke of genius born from necessity, or is it a gimmick that places too much strain on the pitching staff? With the season on the line, would you prefer a traditional starter every time, or do you support these creative, data-driven moves? Share your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear your take on baseball's evolving strategies.